lazy. In the cut.
When it washes and it shrinks. I mean, it's still good.
What's going on, everybody? We live in this cut. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. We back here. It's Wednesday, August 24th. It happens to be, Kobe Bryant Day. Kobe Day, boys. And, if you're a basketball fan or if you're a fan of anyone winning at a high level, Kobe Bryant, we had to pay our respects to the Black Mamba. And it's funny because I picked up one of his books randomly at the store. It happened to be the Mamba Mentality book. If you haven't picked it up yet, amazing pictures. It's like a nice coffee table book. But the stories behind the pictures that they take, amazing. So definitely have to pay our respect to Kobe. Shout out to Kobe and all the Kobe fans. And other announcement that I want to get to real quick is that, obviously here at Live in the Cut, we're barbershop next week. I don't know if it's next week, but September 1st through the 8th, we're going to be running kids' haircuts. All kids' haircuts going to be $10 off. Shameless plug. Make sure you bring your kids. If they want to come get a haircut, bring them through. If you're in college too, we'll even throw you a haircut as well. But we're gonna dive into it, man. Live in the Cut, episode 22. We got a very, very special guest, a brilliant mind, one of the most creative people that I've met. And not only that I've met, I've seen his workplace. Probably one of the things that stood out to me the most about this individual is how organized everything is. For me, I always believe in cleanliness is next to godliness. In a very simple way. I just like, when you go into someone's business and it looks nice and neat, you feel a lot more better doing business with these individuals. But, the individual I'm about to bring up, my boy DJ, he's one of the owners at Constantly Create, which is a print shop out in Hyde Park, who makes all different types of custom apparels. He blessed it with one of these right here. So I know if you guys are seeing this right now, these are hot off the press, literally. I still feel the heat on them. So, but with no further ado, I want to, welcome my boy DJ to the stream.
What's going on? Thank you for having us.
Welcome. I see you guys YouTube. My boy Bennett Brown. What's going on, Chad?
You could write him back from right there?
Yeah. You can talk to him.
Yo, Bennett, what's going on? Where you at, bro?
So, YouTube, you're going to be live on here. You guys can tap in and, tune in, ask any questions. We'll get to them at the end. I'll make sure to come find them. But if you haven't already, make sure you say hello, drop a like. And if you're into, anything that has to do with marketing, branding, drop shipping, that's going to be this episode. I've had a lot of people come to me, especially during the pandemic, a lot of people that wanted to start their own drop shipping company. Once they figured out what the model was, once they figured out their niche on how to do it and how basically you could start to make money from home with, little to no capital up front, and start creating your brand with drop shipping. But, I'm sure a lot of people, you're going to have a lot of people in here that know exactly who you are, what you do, and how you move. But for the people that don't know, who you are, who DJ is, just tell them, who you are and how you got to, your store today.
So operate the Constantly Create shop that you all know on Instagram, Constantly Create shop, the t-shirts, the hats, the hoodies, the embroidery, the printing that you see posted in the story, in the reels, on the feed. That's all done in-house. It's overlooked by the management there, quality control. Everything ships out from there. You can drop off your blanks to the shop. We can provide the blanks and the customization. We ship all over the country. And drop shipping is one of the things that we're trying to lean more into because it gives the customer and the client an opportunity to grow with little to no capital other than their website, their artwork, and the marketing of their brand.
Gotcha. So, basically it's a one-stop shop for basically anything that you need to do with your brand as far as custom apparel goes. And you got some other stuff here you can kind of show us. I know you said you just did something
these right
for the first time. Yeah, can you show them off? You know what I'm saying?
All right, so this is DTF trucker hat. So you can print on this trucker hat basically with unlimited amount of colors. It's actually heat pressed on, and the DTG printers that I had that when you came to the shop, the two that you saw that were towards the back of the shop, the transfers are printed on those two printers on transfer papers, and then they go through a conveyor belt, and you can press those transfers right on this hat.
All right.
So that's a DTF transfer hat. This is a DTF transfer beanie. You don't really see printed beanies. Beanies are usually, or pretty much 100% of the time, embroidered. So this is kind of like in a trial and error phase, but you can see it kind of came out clean.
The neon.
And then this right here is DTG printed, unlimited color print. Prints up to 16 by 18. And then we also offer jumbo prints that are 16 by 18. And it's got the DTF inside tag.
The inside tag.
The printed inside tag.
The attention to detail.
And then you got the DTF wrist.
And the live in the cut on the wrist flex. What's DTG? What's DTG?
DTG is direct to garment. That's what's on the front.
Gotcha.
Right. So DTF is direct to film. This is kind of like a newer technology, and it gives you freedom to pretty much print in unlimited color anywhere on the garment because it's a transfer. So it's actually getting heat pressed on, right? So you wouldn't be able to DTG this because you can't get this sleeve actually like on the printer, like on a canvas or a platen, they call it, to actually print. You could actually, it's easier to just put a hoodie on and print like on a flat, full surface. Can't put a wrist like this onto the printer. So it's actually just laid out flat, heat pressed on and peeled off.
Gotcha.
So that's what DTF is. And it's fairly new. It's a lot more shops are getting into it because you could do unlimited color at no minimums.
Bro, it's safe to say you know your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm always interested in that too, like, being able to be not only the owner of a business, but to be able to say, look, I've done every job from the wiping the floors to making the stuff, But so backtrack, before you were doing this, what were you doing?
Worked in a car business.
Car business. Oh yeah, that's right. I spoke about that. You was doing the car.
Yeah, when you was gonna be cut. Yeah, worked in the car business.
Okay, and then the car business, you was like, what was the transition like? You said, hey, look, I'm gonna start doing apparel. Or was there something in between?
It actually started. The actual shop started. Kobe's last game when he was playing at the Staples Center. Everybody in the Staples Center was given like a little commemorative paper, right? I was telling you this. And
how soothing.
I wanted, right? Wow. And I collect sports memorabilia, so I went on eBay to go try and buy it. And at halftime, they were already going for like $350. So I was like, I want it, but I'm not going to spend $350 on that piece of paper. But then when I was on eBay, I saw like a bunch of Kobe shirts selling $15, $20. And when you go on eBay, you can see like how many sold. There's like a little link that eBay shows the buyer to kind of give them more confidence. Like, look how many people bought this, so you go and buy it. And it was like 350 sold, $15. 200 sold, $20. And the designs were, in my, opinion, were like, subpar, below stands to what I felt that I could make better. So from there, I just Googled blank t-shirt wholesale, and I was ordering blank samples. And went on Amazon, I got a heat press. I went and got the transfer paper, and I was doing really cheap quality t-shirts on eBay for $11, $12 to kind of just prove the concept. And then that was kind of how it started in the basement. So if I really wasn't watching that game, Kobe's last game, and I would have never got to eBay and saw that people were selling Kobe shirts, like custom-made Kobe shirts, right?
That's super fire.
And
do you have any of those shirts though?
Somewhere they're around. I definitely have. So I have one. I have the first shirt I ever did trial and error. It's in the shop. It was in a frame in the shop, which somehow fell frame cracked. But I got to get it back up. But I have it.
So everybody has a a point where they transition from hobby to going pro, and then even from that transition, there's always another level. But so you said, basically I'm leaving this whole car thing behind, and I'm doing this for
that was kind of it.
Where'd you start?
In the basement, right in the basement.
In your crib?
Yeah, in the basement, laundry room, and it was probably the office in the shop. We've been upstairs in the office, so it was smaller than the office. It was like a 12 by maybe 14 garage, and no AC in summer, no heat in the winter. It was freezing in there, and we went from my laundry room in the basement to my business partner now, Joe's garage, and then we were there for a couple of years, and then
Joe's one of your partners, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe, man.
Shout out to Joe. You didn't get to meet him, but he does know John Ray, and John Ray's brother.
Okay.
Then we left his garage and we moved into the shop that we're in now.
Got you. So you started off on the journey by yourself, though.
Started out by myself, but I had friends there. Like everybody was there. Everybody kind of knew what the gist was, what I wanted to do, where my head was at. Because at the time back then, I was 20, maybe 6, 7, and you're still chilling, hanging out with your friends all the time, and everybody's coming and going. And so as people were coming and going, and those weekend nights and at the house, like shirts are coming in, the printer's there, the heat press is there, Amazon boxes are showing up, blank shirts, inks, and everybody that came kind of knew like what was going on. So
and
friends were
so you was trapping shirts out of
the laundry room. The laundry room. Had to kick the printer down the stairs. Like I tell everybody this whole story. You couldn't fit a piece of paper in between the printer and the wall. Trying to get it down the stairs, you couldn't do it. There's a big ass dent on the back of the printer. By the time I don't have that printer anymore. We sold it. Maybe a couple months ago, we sold it to somebody that was kind of just getting started. So it felt good to give it to somebody that was kind of just getting started and needed it as like a learning curve machine. But it was time to go because we got the new ones down.
Got you. And it's cool. I'm sure your friends, you had a lot of support, your support system, and then you moved, with Joe, right?
Yeah.
So that move was because you just needed more manpower, or?
Yeah, needed more hands, needed a little bit more space, needed another printer because it was just one printer down there. So needed more manpower, needed more space, and wanted to kind of see what was next. And you just needed more rooms to see what you could do next.
When you started in the basement, what were you do? Like, what were you offering? What services did you have there?
In the basement, it was just t-shirts.
So you was doing
it was just DTG, just the front of DTG, and I gotta say, like in the basement, we were still learning how to do DTG. Like it wasn't like the printer came and a tech came and he kind of showed us how to do the maintenance on stuff. But there's color settings, there's temperature settings, there's certain colors come out, certain shades under certain heats and pressures, and it was a huge learning curve. So in the beginning, even in the beginning of us being in the basement with the DTG printer, like I don't know. Some of those shirts might have been a little sus, so.
No, it's like that.
You gotta start somewhere.
1,000%. It's like doing the basement cuts for barbering.
That's it. That's
you
it.
know what I'm saying?
That's
it's
it.
like, yeah, you know, my boy Josh gives haircuts. Where's he cut at? Yeah, you know,
In the basement.
In the basement, in the garage. And
Yo, the barber that I told you, Suchio, right? Shout out to Suchio. Yo, shout out to Suchio.
He's cutting in the garage.
He was cutting in his garage, John. Right? Yo, you went to him, like me,
Yo.
Joe, right?
Gotta start somewhere.
Huh?
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, and he moved to Miami. Yo, I'm happy for him.
Shout out to him. That's now I know who cut hair down.
He was in the garage and he's still cutting it.
So, you know, a lot of people don't know the business back behind it, you know, and having the whole thing. You know, again, you could have the talent to make this, you know, and
creative side.
Yeah, creative side to do it. You know, people don't know the business end of it. But did you start off with the creative aspect or more the business aspect? Like
the creative side.
Creative side.
Yeah. Because initially the initial thought was when I saw those Kobe designs on eBay was I felt like I could do it better. So that's when the light bulb went off for me. So it wasn't about the money at first. It was about, hey, I feel like I could do this better. And then you start digging into
design and stuff too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How'd you learn all that?
So I was fluent in it already, so it allowed me to kind of just open up Photoshop on the spot. You know, I didn't have to go and download. I had Photoshop on my computer already. I was fluent in it. I took graphic design in college, and even before that, I had Photoshop on my computer. So I always knew how to use it. So it was kind of like a hit the ground running from a creative standpoint, but it wasn't a hit the ground running from a know how to make T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, that's you learn as you go. But definitely is a transition, and it's a testament to like again doing every job in between from
the hats, different hats.
Yeah, just wearing all the different hats, man. So you know, you started off with the creative side, and you got to bounce to the business side, and you one day you're just like, yo, I'm gonna have a business, you know, and I'm just gonna open up my own store. So you guys, how long have you been in this place? You've been in recently?
A little over 2 years now. Almost gonna be 3 years this upcoming summer. It's coming up. It's gonna be 3 years.
Wow.
Flew by, yeah.
So, you guys offer a lot of services. I also saw you the consultant as well.
The consultant, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In-shop appointments. So the in-shop appointments is because there's a lot of pages on Instagram now that actually do this, the custom apparel stuff. When we started the Constantly Create shop Instagram, I went on IG to kind of see who did custom apparel on Instagram.
Custom apparel?
Custom apparel. Apparel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like custom tees, hats, embroidery, screen print, DTG, and there wasn't a lot of pages that did it back in December 31st, 2017, right? There was maybe like 5 pages, right? Tops. That were like, seemed like they posted every day. They cared about what they posted. They seemed like they were somewhat relevant. You know, like it looked like they cared about the work and the content that they put out. So I felt like from there, I was like, there's room to eat, you know?
Right. So
now they're flooded. Like there's so many screen print shops on Instagram. Right. Like the people that had Etsy shops are kind of making Instagram pages now. But I mean, it's good on Instagram's part because they made it a shoppable app. Mm-hmm. You know, you can go on Instagram, you can have a business now. Back in 2017 or 2016, that I started the Constantly Create shop page. I remember it was New Year's Eve. Instagram wasn't shoppable. It was only pictures. You could only post pictures. So now it's a business, but back then it wasn't a business. It was more like a hobby, Instagram, you know, for like creative hobby. Right. But now it's like a business. Like you can actually run and survive and live off Instagram.
So speaking on, like people caring about their social media, that it's funny. Although y'all had introduced me to him, and I think I was telling y'all when I was cutting your hair, I was looking for like, I think I was talking about drop shipping, and I was like, yeah, I'm trying to do that with my shirts. I need to find this specific person that can do this for me. And you're like, yeah, I think my boy, could do that. We helped him out. And lo and behold, you showed me his Instagram, and I was already following him, not knowing that I DM'd them. Yeah. Maybe like 2-3 weeks prior, already asking like, hey, like, yo, I'm trying to make some merch with y'all. Like, could you help brother out? And these guys are doing so good, I didn't get a response. Nah,
damn.
No, I'm messing with you. No,
I went to the DM and I was like, yo, this kid DM'd us.
Yeah.
I hit him right back.
No, but I say that to say, like, I looked at the ground and I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before. So on that specific week, I was already looking at other Instagrams, other pages
that did this.
Because I was like, I'm specifically looking for someone that does this or that knows about dropshipping. Who do I know? And I didn't even care if they were from New York. So it was just like mind blowing to me when I was like, wait, hold on, you guys know somebody? So, hold on, what's going on? YouTube.
Oh, using comments?
Yeah, we got a couple homies. Okay, cool. My boy Jeff.
You know Jeff Melendez?
Jeff says,
oh,
dude,
yo,
DJ,
Jeff.
Elementary school.
Yo, I know exactly who Jeff Melendez is.
You know Jeff? My guy Jeff Melendez? Oh,
yo, how you know Jeff?
Jeff's my guy. We used to play ball.
Yo, shout out to Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff, what's going on?
He just got married, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he? Yo, congrats,
yeah,
Jeff.
He just got married. So shout out to my boy Jeff. It was a small world. That's funny. He said he went to elementary school.
Yo, we did, bro.
Wow. Small world, man. Small world. We used to play ball together. Him and my good friend A, who owns Asia, which is this campground up in the Lower Catskills that you guys we got to check out soon. We'll talk about that later. But shout out to everybody that's on here. YouTube, make sure you say hello. Where you guys tapping in from? What part of the world you guys tapping in from? Jeff, what's up, man? Long time.
Jeff, you still there?
He's my man Jeff is
still in there?
Or either that he got married or he had a baby. One or the other. I just know he's something big. One of those two things happened.
I see his comment right there. Dude, DJ.
So I before we transition to the marketing aspect, I do want to know about like the business aspect of things because again, as for early entrepreneurs, a lot of people they have the creative aspect, but they lack the business side of it. So it's like you come into the game, maybe if you want to create your own custom apparel shop, you have the creative side, but now you're like, all right, I need some more manpower, and now I need to expand or just scale somewhere.
Yeah.
Did you have some sort of mentor, someone you learned from, or were you just like learning as you go?
I think the car business definitely taught me a lot about sales. Selling cars, because when you're selling cars, you're selling to.
Hold on, true or false? Not to cut you off.
Nah, go.
Is this? This could be a fact. I don't know if this is a fact or not, but like people, this is such a bad connotation on car sales.
It's terrible.
This is such a bad. I don't know what that is, but
That's why I wanted to leave something like that. It's like the cleanest, dirtiest business I know. Because you can sell somebody a car that's actually worth like KBB, like I don't know, call it $25,000. It's worth $25,000, but you sell it to them for like $35,000.
Right.
They got $10,000 in negative equity. Their interest rate is 15%, and they're paying for this car. And they're upside down in negative equity for like the rest of their life. It messes up their credit. Like it does happen to people,
right.
But I get it from the business side of like, if you don't sell them a car, somebody down the block is going to sell them a car. Right. And if you don't take their money, somebody else is going to take their money.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a shark mentality. It was a dog eat dog mentality. And there was quotas,
Mm-hmm.
There was sales goals. There was high bonuses if you hit those sales goals. So the car business is kind of like structured to like just keep going.
Yeah.
Like you just don't stop.
Right. There's like not an incentive. I guess you can say.
Yeah, it's all incentives. Yeah, incentives to keep selling more cars.
Right.
The more cars you sell, the more bonuses you get.
How'd that translate?
Like from a stamina standpoint,
right.
Of just being able to just have that mentality of just keep going, and working so many hours. Because in the car business, you're working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week, every once in a while you'll have a Sunday off. If somebody comes in and you're finishing up a deal and they're buying a car and it's 8:45 and they're like, all right, yeah, let's go. Like you're staying till 11 until that car goes on the road.
Right.
Because if they leave,
I
got a better price somewhere else. Let me get my deposit back. So it was like, if they agree, like your goal is they have to take the car home right now.
So you learned how to close. You was ready
to
close
right
there.
it also taught me how to do things right now. You know what I mean? Because I was always in that mind state. Like, if like you have to take the call home right now. Like, and if they're like, nah, I gotta go talk to, you know, my wife, or I gotta go pick up the kids at school. Like, it was just like, you still have to take the call home right now. So like that kind of like that mind state and discipline of just like, I have to do this right now. And there's no other answer. Like I have to make this happen. And that kind of helped transition doing that for years into starting business.
Yeah, it's funny, before I was a barber, well, not before, this whole time while I've been a barber, I was into sales as well. I was doing online marketing, multi-level marketing. I got introduced to that real early on in my years.
Online marketing?
Yeah, and affiliate marketing, like just different things. And you know, I was just looking at just different models on different ways on how to make money, and I realized that sales, although I didn't want to get into, like, you know, a lot of people just like, oh, I don't want to get involved with sales. I don't want to do none of that. I realized it was a necessity. Like,
sales is a necessity.
It was a necessity. I understood I needed to. When you're making a resume, you are selling yourself to whoever is employing you. Mm-hmm. So you might be the person that's like, you know what, I don't want to sell. I just want to be creative, or I'm not into sales. You're into it regardless if you believe it or not.
Yeah, because at some point, like, you go to your boss and say, hey, I want a raise.
Yeah, I need to get paid a little bit more.
You know, like,
sell me on it.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's true. Like, at some point, everybody becomes a salesman. Mm-hmm. You're faced with becoming a salesman sooner or later.
Gotcha. So you learn, you know, a lot about you know, I guess urgency. You learn a lot about closing. You know, from negotiating from doing that, and then so you also have people that work with you. Yeah, you're not by yourself. No. So how does that work? That process work with like finding the right people to come? How do you find the right people that come, you know, come work with you?
I think the right people find you.
Okay.
And I think that because we're in a creative atmosphere, so you have to like making things. You have to enjoy seeing something from start to finish. And I think that everybody that works at the shop is a creative. It is a creative. I don't want to say I think, like, they are. So there were points in time when we were double the size in a team, and there were people there that weren't a creative. And there's no diss to them, but when all creatives come together, that does help.
Yeah, because one thing, you come in, you clock in, and you're looking for a check. You know, opposed to like, yo, I'm here for the creative process, and then I know that's gonna get me paid down the line either way. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool. So you would say the people that you work with now, they found you. They are basically they're in alignment with, you know, what you already have going on.
Yeah,
that's pretty fire.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
Exactly.
That's funny. That's kind of how it happened here as well. Like, you know, with my barbers, I didn't even think about asking anybody in my network. I was just gonna go to a barber school and possibly, you know, ask around or whatever the case may be. And kind of just like how we met, like, the doors just open. People just like, yeah, you know, I'd love to work with you. And
yeah,
like, it's crazy to me. So I see my boy says, Jeff says, I love y'all. DJ would drop 50 on us on every team playing ball. Word, let me find out.
Yo, Jeff really said that's crazy.
Never buy a car with Ben said never buy a car without
DJ.
Oh, that's a fact? Okay, cool. That's funny. I think I'm a good, like, car negotiator as well. Funny enough. I feel like I would make a good car salesman too. If I not that I would want to go that route, but no offense to anybody that does it. I feel like I would have helped a lot of people get in their cars.
Yeah, it's good too. I mean, there's two types of car salesmen: a people car salesman and a
shark,
a used car salesman, a shark. Yeah,
you be a shark. You know, it's a
two types.
So you know, one of the things when I walk into your space is you know, the organization. What does that come from? The cleanliness, the just being, everything was like on point. It was actually like refreshing to see. Just because I don't see it often.
I think that the organization comes from a couple of different places. First thing that comes to mind is that we were for so long, we were in this tiny, small space, and you had to figure out a way to make it work in this tiny, small space, right? So you were finding creative solutions for like difficult problems, and when you were given a lot more space, it made things a little bit easier to organize. We felt like at first, but it was kind of the opposite. But then it takes some time to kind of just figure out how to use the space, figure out how to fill the space. But the organization now, I think we're pretty organized now, and we streamline things as well as we actually could with the resources and knowledge that we have so far. It came from making mistakes, and seeing how to streamline things better, how to be more efficient, how to save time, how to touch a box of shirts or a box of hats or a box of hoodies less times. Like, how can we get this box from the UPS truck to right in front of the machine as quick as possible, right? With touching the box as less times as possible, like less, and then getting it back on the UPS truck as quick as possible. So there's a lot of steps and variables that take place throughout that process, and it took a year and a half to 2 years to kind of just like keep trimming that down and finding a way to like simplify things.
And it'd be like that sometimes. I remember my first year of just even like steps of how to fade. It took me a whole year on how to get that step, just to simplify it to making the least amount of movement and making everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
Just to get the job done.
That's exactly what it is.
So, and same thing with basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, your end goal is to drop, get
a bucket.
Get a bucket. All right, cool. You don't need to do all the fancy stuff.
You don't need to dribble this many times.
Exactly. You just need the least amount of movements to get to the rack and get the bucket. So that's one of the first things I noticed when I picked up the shop, honestly, which was pretty dope. So let's get into the drop shipping.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people might not be familiar with drop shipping. You can tell them, what drop shipping is. In a nutshell, real quick definition.
Drop shipping is when Live in the Cut has a website and somebody buys this medium long sleeve in the cut shirt. I get the order at Constantly Create shop. I order that blank white medium long sleeve. It comes in, it gets to the printer, it gets printed, it gets tagged because it's your brand, it's on your website, and then we ship it out blind to your customer. And the return address is Live in the Cut. It's not Constantly Create shop. So we're actually invisible in the whole process. So if somebody's on your website, no matter what they buy clothing, they would never know it's coming from Constantly Create shop. They would think that you're shipping it right from here.
Gotcha. So you're like, are you basically the middle person who's making the work, making the product done, or is the site really the middle?
Okay.
How that work? Well, I guess this is a better question. As the person, so Live in the Cut, right? Are they paying you for the quantity of the shirts up front, or is it something that's when somebody orders, that's when they pay for it?
That's the obstacle that we face now, because if you go and sell 500 shirts, individual shirts, and I ship out all those 500 shirts, the money goes to your Shopify account. Right? So then when it's time to bill for those 500 shirts, who's to say that you skip out on the bill and you just disappeared? And the whole time it was just a one collection, one drop plan on your end from the jump, but that wasn't brought to my attention. I know that I, say for example, thought this was you're starting a website as a long-term thing, I could get screwed out of that money. Right? So what we're trying to do is find a way to, because right now we got a good solid handful of accounts that do drop shipping with us now, but they're personal friends that have brands, they're referrals, they meet a certain criteria that we know. Like, we have a personal connection or relationship with them directly, or through somebody that is like a very strong referral that we have a relationship with that can kind of vouch for them, like, hey, like they're gonna pay their bill. So that's how we do it now, but we're trying to find a way to onboard new Shopify's and new pages and new brands and new companies to drop ship. with having like a draw up front.
Right.
So where they're going to pay X amount up front, and then as they sell things, the amounts are going to get deducted from that draw. So we don't ever have to run into an issue of not getting paid.
Right. That makes sense too, right? It's kind of like somebody, quote unquote, giving you under the arm, and then you get rid of the work, and then from there you'll be able to, hopefully recoup your investment, pay the person back. But again, who's to say that they're going to pay the person back? That I can see how that runs into a big issue.
So we're trying to just figure out all those logistics, because so many people DM us and hit us up on the website, like, do you drop ship? Do you drop ship? Do you drop ship? And some of them you'll go to their page or their Instagram page, and they'll have, it seems like they actually really care about their brand, and they've been around a while. They post. It looks like they care about what they post, and maybe they do sell a good amount of shirts. But
do you think dropshipping is for everybody?
I think it could be for everybody, but I think it's just one of those things where the people that kind of maybe shy away from it either don't really know the ins and outs of how it works. They don't really know what it is, or they don't have somebody that can actually fulfill the drop shipping itself.
Looking for,
who can actually do the drop shipping.
So, so there's other third-party sites that do drop shipping.
Yeah.
Like
Printful.
I was using another one, but there's another one. I forgot what it was.
There's a couple out there.
There's a bunch that can do them out there. But so there's a lot of pros. There's pros and cons of doing drop shipping. I think one of the pros is obviously either one, you find you go on Printful. And you could use them for drop shipping, but they're taking obviously a bigger cut to fulfill your orders. I also know that when I try to do something, when I try to get some custom work from them, that you could only place it on certain
you can
places.
only place it on,
obviously different from a custom shop, right? But again, what you pay for in simplicity, you're replacing it for automation. Is basically how I see dropshipping. Dropshipping is just one way of marketing, one way of branding. And you work with a lot of brands. Like I said, you do the consulting.
shop.
You actually have a couple clients that I've seen when I went to your store. Not to name drop, but Throwback, right? Mr. Throwback.
Mm-hmm.
You do work, Mr. Throwback. Like what are some things that you've learned, or what are some things you guys have done or noticed in their way of branding? Because again, a lot of people hear the name of Throwback and it's unanimous with like throwback jerseys and all the things of that nature. So like I'm on the outside looking in, I'm looking at as a creative and as a business owner, I'm like seeing him build his brand out.
Yeah.
And you're helping him create that. What's that like?
It's sometimes it's like having idea offs, like, hey, I want to do this, let's do this, and I'll kind of give my creative input and kind of be like, hey, what about this, or what if we could change this or adjust this, and we kind of have. There's definitely times over the years where me and him have had idea offs, and we at the end result, it would go up on his website, it would sell, it would go in his store, it would sell, people like it, and I think from the aspect of the Shopify pages that we have, the accounts that we have, I definitely think that one thing that we've provided them, other than the quote unquote just the definition of drop shipping, the creative input, right, and the resources and the creativity that we offer to help that Shopify or help that account, as opposed to like Printful, they're just
whatever you sending them,
they're shipping out. And you can email DJ, you can text DJ, you can voice note or get on the phone or FaceTime or, contact us and say, DJ, what do you think about this? Or is this possible?
Gotcha.
Etc.
So with brands like Mr. Throwback or just anyone building a brand, because again, although you are making your own you're on the creative side of helping other brands. You're also building a brand for your store, and compared to other print shops around, because again, there's thousands of them.
Yeah.
What are some things that you do? For me, like, one of the first things I noticed that you do differently is obviously the store tours, right? Or you invite people to the store.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't do off the jump. Like, come see my workspace. Like, especially if you're doing print. But like, what are some marketing things that you've been able to see with apparel and custom apparel for other businesses?
I think the volume, the output of the creative work, right? So the more output you post, the more confidence that you're going to get from the client.
And you do social media as well, everything on there, right?
Yeah. So there's pages and there's shops. There's a lot of shops out there, right? There's so many print shops and screen print shops and embroidery places, but they don't hammer social media or have been hammering social media and using it as the forefront, for years, like we have. So I think that when somebody wants to start a brand or even think about drop shipping or need any type of creative input, they're not gonna get that from just like a local screen print shop or a local embroidery shop.
Mm-hmm. Right, where most people are just kind of like, yo, tell me what you want.
Exactly. Do you have the artwork? Email it to me. Pick it up in 2 weeks. They're not going to get into any type of creative input, and that creative input, when a client gets that from us, they feel like we're invested with them.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It helps keep the creative spark going for them.
It's funny, I do that. I compare it to like when someone's asking for a haircut, they're like, yo, I want this certain hairstyle, I want, this. And for me, I'm the type of person I'll tell them like, hey, I'm gonna do this haircut for y'all. I would suggest you go this route. This might be a better looking haircut that might suit you. Yeah, I'm giving you my artistic opinion, professional opinion, and I'm saying, hey, this might suit you better, your facial features, your this, your that. And I'm still gonna, after I say all of that and you still want this done,
you're the customer.
But definitely, if somebody's giving me that attention to detail, I definitely feel way more comfortable working,
Exactly. And then they come to the shop, they see the shop, the organization, the cleanliness, they see the work on social media, they see the website, they see that we're present, on social media, and we're active and we're actually there, we're responsive, and it means a lot to people. Yeah,
tell me about your website, because I think your website is like super fire.
Appreciate it. Shout out to Joe. Joe put that website, the back end of it, set it up, add in the card, different colors, different items.
This is his background, or he like picked,
No, he didn't have any background in like website building. He kind of like learned that as he went.
So, because that's something I'm working on now, just having to build a website, but like. So on your website, you guys like are pretty, again, just the organization and everything, how you guys place it, the way that you guys market, the promotions you guys do. What is the process behind all of that, or do you have like a team behind that, or?
No, it's kind of just trying new things, a lot of new things, and seeing what works and what doesn't from the volume of the things you try, if that makes sense. So like trial and error, but just a lot of it. Like if you just keep trying, and just kind of mental notes and data, there's analytics, and we go online and kind of see like what posts did, better than these posts, and date it, and how many people.
You like looking at numbers, those type of numbers?
I'm starting to feel like I'm being more intrigued by numbers more and more, because they don't lie, they're true. Like this is like the algorithm and the data and the analytics is way smarter than I'll ever be, right?
Exactly.
But my thought process doesn't begin at the numbers, it begins from a creative aspect.
Right.
But the numbers are my feedback,
So more pushing out whatever the content is, or whatever, just pushing out numbers, and then from there you basically collect that data and say, all right, cool, this was working. this type of Instagram post working, this type of content was working, or whatever the case may be. You know, and I feel like that's something that I'm getting into as well now. Seeing like, you know, how to edit an Instagram video and see how like the reaction is, you know, on a certain type of video, how it's edited, or just a picture, or whatever the case may be. But just different ways on how people are marketing and branding. But you guys do a lot of promotions. You guys do a lot of different things besides social media. You do the tours. What's one of the biggest marketing moves that you've seen, whether it's between something that you did or something that someone you worked with?
Like, you know, biggest marketing,
like whether it was an event. So I give you an example, like people could throw. So I had a Mickey Queen's Finest. Shout out to my boy Mickey Queen's Finest, barbershop owner. You know, he was a barbershop owner, a barber by trade. But one of his ways to market was throwing huge parties. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, for some people it could be doing a back to school sale. For some people it could be making amazing merch or whatever.
The promos that have worked.
Yeah. So what are some things that have worked for you that you've seen that's like, you know what I'm saying?
So if you go to our website, there's a daily deals page, right? So the daily deals page they're pre-made packages that are already made up by us, the shop.
Nice.
And it allows the client or the customer to browse the packages and just pick a package and buy it. And it makes it faster for them. There's kind of all the information that they need on that package is there, but the website sometimes doesn't let them customize the package. Like if somebody wanted to go get 50 white t-shirts, they could go buy the 50 white t-shirt package. But if they wanted to add like 2 different prints or something like that, they can't change that package on the website. Right? They can't. It's a specifically made package. I think that was good promo for us years ago. It was great. I feel like the packages kind of slowed down a little bit on our end because we stopped putting them out. We always used to continuously, like religiously, like we were always making and putting new packages out. Like that was kind of like our thing. Like let's make some new packages because it's new content. You put it out, and then, that's a really good deal. Let me get that package. Like we were one of the only shops that were actually pushing packages, and that was good promo for us because there wasn't really much competition in that lane of people just making packages. I love that. I'm thinking about different,
just for haircuts, like what kind of package you can throw with the client, like just on a Monday or a Tuesday.
Monthly packages, appointment based.
Right, exactly. You know, there's so many different routes, but when I did go to Create, I started to see the daily ones, which I was like, dang, I got a different deal every day. Like this is crazy.
Oh wow, I didn't even that's not it. It's not a different deal every day. But that's the first time I ever heard that, honestly.
Yeah. That would be different, right? So
it's just that it's running daily. Like
I got you.
No matter what day of the week, there's deals on this page.
What's going on YouTube? I see you guys want to check in. Twitch and Facebook is heavy. Make sure you drop a like and a share. Say hello. We've been on here for a little under an hour. So, you know, if y'all have questions on here, y'all want to have anything to ask on marketing, anything to ask. Ash, what's going on? I see you. If you have anything to ask on branding, you know, feel free. We can get to that towards the end of this. So, you know, as we close this off, I do have a few other questions. But one of the ones that actually is you know, again, going back to the shop brand consulting, like when somebody hits you up to consult, what exactly are they? What do most people need the most help on? Or what do you get, like
artwork?
Yeah, artwork.
Brand logos, creative direction. That's what people need the most help with. So, because that's what everything kind of starts with. I have a company, or I have a business, or I just opened my LLC or my S corp, or I want to start a streetwear brand. Clothing brand. The number one obstacle that people have is, hey, I have an idea, and who could put it on paper for me? And we bridge that gap. You know, from the creative aspect that comes from me, comes from Mike, the shop designer. Shout out to Mike. If he can't come up with it, I can come up with it. If I can't come up with it, he can come up with it. And it's one of those things where if somebody's kind of looking to get that logo or a piece of artwork or branding, right. We'll figure out what they're looking for, get it on paper, and get them to be happy with it. That's kind of the number one thing that people need help with, because they can go and get the shirts printed anywhere, right? Get the embroidery done anywhere.
It's communicating that vision to
us and us making it real.
Fair enough. And I feel like that's probably the biggest thing, because I'm thinking about so many, like even just coming up with a shirt design. It's like, what's the first thing you think about? Well, what's the end goal? What's the vision looking like? How can I communicate this and get this on a shirt or on paper or on a poster?
You're giving us, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is the idea.
Yeah.
And you just gotta kind of leave the rest to us, and we'll come back to it. Hey, this is what we came up with.
Super fun.
And then you give us the revisions. You tell us what to adjust, what to change, and we take it from there.
I look at this too, right? So you've been open for about 2 going on 3 years, but you've been in the industry for a while. How you say you started this in the basement? How
in the basement, it was, damn, why can't I remember this year? It was,
you was at, this was in college, like college years? After
college.
Okay.
Mid 26 years old, 27 years old.
Okay, so
this 27, yeah, this is, no, not that long. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 6 years now?
So what do you think it is that's like not helping you maintain, but like, because you guys are killing it, from my end, I see, but what's helping you guys continuously grow?
Continuously grow. I think doing the right thing by customers, because referrals come from that, repeat business comes from that, caring about the product, right? You actually got to care about what you're making, what you're giving to people, right? So that kind of ties into taking care of people, doing things in a timely fashion.
Yeah, and 500 shirts spot is one day.
Yeah, giving things back to people like in a respectable time frame.
Right.
Being priced fairly, so there's a lot of things. Honesty, being able to come to the shop and actually see the shop, see us, like a hand-to-hand type of relationship.
Right.
A lot of factors.
No, that's actually one of the first things I felt was they mentioned that you guys mentioned that I could like go over to the store and go check it out. Like people come over, I'm like, for real? Like, why?
Yeah. And then you come in and you see why.
I'm like, yo, I'm blown away. And that's definitely something that I take in consideration is being personal.
Who you're doing business with.
Yeah, just being personal with people, trying to connect with them on another level.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just this right here. So we got a lot of people for me personally, I know a lot of people that are looking to start their own clothing brand, or just like I said, like they have their own business and they're looking for different ways to market. What's one of the biggest things that you can tell that person that is looking to market their product, whether it's a barbershop, whether it's on someone that's coming from your end, your perspective? What would you tell them?
To focus on the product first, and then focus on the market. Because if you're marketing a product that isn't good or isn't ready to market, then what are you marketing? So just keep focusing on the actual product.
Right.
Perfect that, or nothing's gonna ever be perfect, but like you kind of get where I'm going. Like keep working on the actual product.
You actually said something to me. I forgot this was at the store while I was cutting your hair, but you said something more to the effect of, I know you want to print merch, you want to print clothes, but you didn't start a clothing business. You started a barbershop. You started a bar. You started a restaurant. You didn't start a clothing business. We'll elaborate on that.
Okay, so for you, this kind of relates to you in a sense,
right?
Like, you're the barbershop, right? So if you started a line of merch, a collection, a drop, started designing shirts, hats, to have in the glass showcase, to have up in the window in the front. That's not your main source of income. It's not your main source of revenue, right? So to focus on that as like the main source of revenue and the main source of income isn't really, in my opinion, the most efficient way to actually try and grow what you're doing.
Right.
I would be focusing more on the haircuts, making sure they're getting done quick, the appointments, coming on time, all that type of thing, organizing, getting everybody in here, getting everybody happy, getting everybody out on time, and making your money that way. And then the merch just comes with that. The merch is actually just the promo.
Yeah.
Oh, you liked your haircut? If you like your haircut so much, like, yo, there's a fire shirt on the wall.
Right.
You know, and lean into what your craft is, and not the actual, making X amount of dollars on a shirt.
Right. More of it, just like I said, part of the story, part of your narrative.
Yeah, this is my brand. This is my brand. We're in the cut. There's in the cut shirts. There's in the cut hats.
Exactly.
But you're getting a haircut.
No, that's true. It reminds me of one of my other mentors. His name is June Acosta. I introduced you. I'll connect that one day. And at one point I was like, we were building organizations, we were building teams, and I wanted to make shirts for my team. And he's like, bruh, in a nicer way to say it. He basically like, yo, bruh, go out there and get paid first. Like,
that's what it is.
You ain't coming to the game to make clothes. You know what I'm saying? I get, we understand that you want to build a narrative and things like that, but make something happen first. And I told myself after that, I was like, man, I'm never gonna make another shirt custom ever again until I do something significant. And again, significant is perspective, but
you're right. I understand.
But I that made sense to me. It basically it said, yo, go focus on what you said you was gonna do, or the model that you was supposed to focus on, rather than having a cool looking clothing brand, but your finances are all messed up because you went and tried to make clothes or something like that. So that story really resonated with me, especially when you said that. I was like, I have a barbershop now, so I can start making some shirts. You
should. You got that glass showcase right there.
We don't have to go hit up.
You got product, you got your hats, shirts in there. You got space in the front window. Like, you could definitely get some. And if it's fire and if it's good quality, and you have people that are supporters of the shop, they'll buy something.
We gonna make that happen. We gonna have this honestly looks like the fall.
That's a really nice shirt. That's a brand called Cotton Heritage.
Okay.
I've actually seen them grow.
I like the fit.
Also, because when I remember being in the basement, the printer company, before I got the first printer, they sent me a sample pack. And it was DTG printed, same quality, same as this. And it was a picture of Mickey Mouse, and it had the brother, like the company's info and the name of the printer and all that under the Mickey Mouse. And it was a Cotton Heritage shirt. And I was like, yo, this is the nicest shirt I've ever felt, right? This is nice. And ever since I saw that shirt, my opinion never changed. Of all the shirts that I've seen in the years that have passed doing this, Cotton Heritage is still my favorite shirt. I'm wearing a Cotton Heritage shirt right now under this. Like,
not long sleeve, but they make
short sleeves too. They're 6.5 ounces. You wash them, they wash well, they print nice, they stay dark. You wash a black shirt mad times, it does get a little fady, like it stays dark.
Nice.
So you're rocking
Cotton Heritage.
Nice
so now I know the quality of the shirts that I'm be the next when I make the next batch, it's definitely gonna be these. Listen. And by the way, if y'all have any questions y'all want to ask too, feel free. I definitely don't want to leave y'all out of here, but anybody can ask questions too, man. But listen, this I can go on about like marketing and branding. One of the last questions I guess I'll ask you, that's on here that I wanted to get out was actually this is like smaller questions, but if you can answer them in like short responses, but like your first you're moving from the store to from the basement till now. What was your biggest investment on your business?
The biggest investment?
Yeah.
Financially or like?
It could be financially, it could be whatever the case may be.
Biggest investment?
I'll tell you mine right now off the bat is
yeah, shoot, so I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Yeah, so one of my biggest investments on mine is definitely I was at the moment I was thinking like tools and things like that, but it was honestly self-development. Like I paid for it. I remember last year one of the biggest things I paid for was classes. Education, like self-education outside of college. I paid for it like a time. Right now, I'm taking a podcast course at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like
investing in your own knowledge and your own self. Yeah.
But that's just me personally. So. But it could have been a machine.
No, it's crazy that you say that because I think that's true. I think now that you said that, and I kind of get where you're coming from with it.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
The investment that you got to make in. Hey, I'm not in the basement anymore. Hey, I'm not in the garage anymore. Hey, I got to be a little bit more disciplined than that. I can't react that way. I can't be that way. I just fine tuning myself as somebody that's operating the shop, and so not somebody that's, with friends in the garage.
Different, definitely a different come from.
Yeah.
You got that background.
Mm-hmm.
I got Ben that said, what's the best hoodie?
The best hoodie. The best hoodie. All right, so I got this brand called AS Color.
Okay.
They got like this extra heavyweight hoodie. Seems really nice. I think I'm gonna be into that.
Heavy
like you wear it and it feels like there's something on top of you. You know what I mean? So like you feel confident going out in the snow. Gotcha. You know what I mean? And it's a hoodie and it's comfortable.
And
I like that. AS Color.
AS Color.
AS Color has some nice hoodies I like right now. I'm probably gonna be into those this winter. Independent Trading Co. has a nice heavyweight hoodie, a nice hoodie that's a legend. They call it a legend hoodie, which is like an extra heavyweight hoodie. There's all different types of hoodies.
I like the hoodies with that don't come out to like a point.
Yeah. It's got to be round. It's got to shape, the back of your head. And there's midweight hoodies, there's lightweight hoodies, there's heavyweight hoodies. But the heavyweight hoodies are the hoodies that, when you wear them, it feels like you're wearing something that's gonna last. Opposed to the midweight hoodies are more like a casual wear. The heavyweight hoodies is more like if you're buying like a Supreme hoodie. It's a heavyweight hoodie. Like you pick it up and it's like, I feel like this is kind of heavy.
Right.
Like a midweight hoodie is I'm throwing it over my shoulder and I'm gonna throw it on after the basketball.
Well, you already know the ones that I'm gonna be choosing is the
heavies.
The
heavies.
So that's what I'm going.
The heavies.
But listen, so one of my last questions, if not my last question, as I close this off, is when people think about Constantly Create, what do you want them to leave with? What do you want them to think about? Or what's a word that you want them to?
Something that I want them to think about or leave with after they do business with us, after they get an order, after something comes in the mail. They supported a small business. They supported something that started from literally actually a laundry room, started from nothing. And that us on the inside, behind Instagram, behind the website, behind anything that's front facing that you might see, there's a team that works hard and a team that is working every single day to just offer a better service, a quicker service, a better quality. And that's all I can really ask for from the team, from the shop, and everybody out there, that they're supporting a company and a shop that has aspirations to be around, and withstand the tests of the COVIDs and the inflations and everything that comes with that we're here for the long run, and we're not turning and burning shirts. We're not turning and burning orders. We have boxes. When I tell you boxes, like this. Like imagine if this was like a big box of just hoodies and hats and shirts that just have logos all over. Embroidery logos and print logos and this, right? And they're just samples, right? So if you placed an order at the shop and you got those beanies embroidered or you got this embroidered, we're running samples just to make on our product, just to make sure it stitches out clean, it stitches out right. We're not going to use the customers. If a customer orders 24 windbreakers, we're not going to run the sample and make sure it comes out clean and stitches out right on one of his 24 pieces. We're going to use one of ours, make sure it's right. Then we're going to run the 24 pieces. You know, a lot of places will take the order and just go.
Right.
You know, but it doesn't work that way because I want to say probably 70 to 80% of the time, something is changed from a quality control standpoint or a creative standpoint. Whether it be an embroidery on a left chest or a hat that's just some colors are poking out underneath other colors and you don't want to see this color outside of an outline or it's just not stitching out clean. Whatever the case may be, the detail, yeah, you know, the detail. And we put the detail effort in first, and then we run the order. So any problems that we might have or see get handled on the spot. And I tell this to the team all the time. Because it could be a repetitive atmosphere. Because if somebody orders, 200 pieces, 100 pieces, like we're looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
Over. Like right now, shout out to Drew. Runs one of the embroidery machines. Best embroidery machine in the place, the 2020 Tajima. He's running right now 109 pieces. Left chest embroidery, left sleeve, and right sleeve. Right? All embroidery. 109 times seeing the same thing. 109 times. 109 times. But it's also the same piece. So he's picking this piece up 109, 109, 109. 327 times?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a lot to be focused through.
Right.
So we got a really good team.
I bet. I can't wait to pull up again and actually meet everybody over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, come through during the day, anytime from 9 to 6, and you'll see the team that actually puts, that makes these things happen.
Yo, I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you, bro.
Let the world know where they can find you and how they can connect with you if they want to do business.
Constantly Create Shop, Instagram, at Constantly Create Shop. www.constantlycreateshop.com is the website. If you need a quote, there's a quote request link at the top. Fill out a short questionnaire, short form. Our sales team gets back to you based on those requests. Instagram, you can DM us, but we'll ultimately ask you to fill out the quote request form because that quote request form maybe has like 4 or 5 questions, but those 4 or 5 questions are like vital to us getting you the information that you need, the info, the pricing, because there's a lot of variables that come into play when trying to place, a custom order. So those 4 or 5 questions in the quote request form on our website at the top, they kind of give us an idea of what direction you're looking to go, so we can kind of help speed up the process of helping.
Listen, if you want some fire stuff, basically answer the questions. So
that's it.
Get your merch done right.
There's a lot of people that
get your merch done right.
So many people that DM us and we're like, fill out this quote request form, and they'll just ask and DM another question when it's like, positive, like that question's in this form. So it's like, just fill out this form above. You hit them with the little emoji finger pointing up and. But like,
love it.
That's
tell
where
them,
it's at.
If you ever get your work done, tell them I sent you, and hopefully we can connect sooner. And you guys are gonna see the new merch coming in the fall. It's definitely gonna be something like this, if not more. Definitely one of these, because the beanies. I
Beanies.
I want to wear it.
I know. It's so dope. It looks fine. It's bright.
Well. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. YouTube, Instagram, Twitch. Next week that we're back on here live. we'll be talking about real estate and possibly real estate and the legal aspect of real estate for those that are looking to get into the real estate game. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And if you guys are watching the replay of this, make sure you tag us. And I'll catch you guys next time live in the cut. Peace.